We had Auburn going on the road at number 6 Texas A&M. Now, this one was very interesting. We thought Auburn was pretty solid, and they had that loss against Oklahoma, but it was very close on the road, and they ended up taking the lead in the fourth quarter, where we still felt fairly decent about Auburn. This was just a tough draw, where Texas A&M's really good, and I mean, this was a very defensive game as well. And Marcel Reed, who's normally known for a lot of his quickness outside of the pocket and just, I mean, his throwing and rushing ability, he's really a great player, but he had that pick where I wonder if that kind of crushed his confidence too. But he had over 200 yards passing, and they only scored 16, but they really didn't have to score much. And even 16-10 as the final score maybe is even a little misleading because Auburn got that touchdown late in the fourth quarter where it's like Texas A&M really controlled this game. And I think Texas A&M's really solid. And maybe you say they shouldn't have beat Notre Dame, but I mean, that Notre Dame game was a crazy shootout. And I mean, Reed really played great in that one. And I think the defense is starting to come into fruition now. So they did fairly decent against Auburn, Jack. What were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely not what the score showed for the game. I mean, Texas A&M had complete control over the game. Um, and that was just dumb
Mm-hmm.
play call late at the game for Marcel Reed to throw that pick because they just took it all the way to the 2 yard line and they just ran it
Right,
in. But Jackson Arnold really could not get anything going in this game. And A&M's
right,
defense is definitely for real. I would say they probably had the best
definitely.
defense of the week, them in Iowa. But yeah,
Right,
let's to look at the stats here. 52 yards rushing for Auburn. They didn't uh, convert a single third down of the game,
that's ridiculous.
and
Yeah,
no fourth downs conversions either. So, and they
jeez.
only had 177 yards total that A&M held them to. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this was a more defensive game, and I mean, they didn't need to score a lot to win this game for sure. They did kind of just put
Right,
points on the board and then just bled clock. But
right. Yeah,
this it was interesting to see you picked Auburn because I don't know if I would have picked them because the morale
yeah.
definitely seemed to be lower after that loss against Oklahoma, where they kind of felt like they got cheated on a couple calls there. Um, and just to go from on the road to Oklahoma to on the road to Texas A&M, those are two tough environments. Um,
Right,
it's just a tough stretch for Auburn for sure because I still think they're a great team.
right. And I think part of it was that, like in this game, like I know Texas A&M had pretty decent control, but like it was still pretty winnable. It wasn't like Texas A&M was winning by 20 or like something like that. Like Auburn still had a chance, but it's like they were really struggling to get the offense clicking. And I thought Jackson Arnold was going to play a lot better. Where if you look at that game, that was kind of ended up being the separator. Where it's like you said, no third down conversions, no fourth down conversions. Like they couldn't really move the ball. And Texas A&M's offense, they really didn't have to do much to win this one, Jack.
Yeah, they didn't. They just put points on early and just kind of
Right,
just ran the ball, did what they needed to do to win, and just got an ugly one for sure. But it shows that they can definitely survive against. I think still a good team. Just uh, this is just tough for Auburn and just for that schedule, just to go from that just heartbreaking loss against Oklahoma, where you
right.
had opportunities to win, to go on
Mhm.
the road to a very good Aggies team. So we'll see if they bounce back. But those are very two good losses as well. So yeah,
Right. I mean, it's just kind of a gauntlet for them for a minute though, because then they host number 12 Georgia, and then they host number 9 Missouri, and then they get like a little bit of a pass where they go on the road at Arkansas, and then they host Kentucky. But it's like then they have to go on the road at Vanderbilt, and then later they have to host Alabama, where it's like they still have a relatively tough schedule, and they have some gimmies there where they're playing Mercer in November. What are we doing? But very very interesting, and I think they need something here. They need to get back on track because that Oklahoma game was rough, but at least they felt in it. At least they felt like seemingly competent in that one. Where it's like this one, Texas A&M wasn't beating you by like a ton of points. Where it's like Auburn was just really struggling, and I didn't expect them, especially on the offensive side, to struggle this much. Where it's like a solid Baylor team, they put up 38 on them. A solid Oklahoma team last week, they put up 17. And I know they didn't put up as much like this week. That's actually pretty close, 10-17. So maybe I was expecting too much from Auburn, but I don't know. I know they wanted to get back on track, and I know this is tough to go on the road, but it's like when you look at how like they got unranked, I thought they were going to have enough motivation to be able to go in this and kind of steal it, but maybe that was wishful thinking because I was kind of more upset that Auburn got left out. Where it's like
Hmm.
that's really it's a really tough one, and I mean winning on the road in any conference is really tricky, and I mean the SSC especially. This is just it's a tough break for Auburn to have that back to back weeks, and
Yeah.
now they play Georgia, and now it's like it doesn't stop, and then they got to play Missouri, where it's like it's just kind of a gauntlet for them right now. So it's gonna take a minute, Jack.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why it's tough to be in the SEC and Big Ten conferences because you got to play each other, and those
Right,
are always tough opponents, especially with the SEC this year. It's just talented teams everywhere for the most part.
right,
But yeah, this is just tough for them. And I just hope they bounce back because I think that's still a talented team for sure.